Right, hello you guys. I'm back with another video as you can see. Um it's been a busy day. However, I came home and I'm just like, why not set up the camera? Why not make another video? It's already on my mind to do it. I have all the information set up, so I might as well make another one. So, for this one, what I'm going to talk about is what I said I was going to talk about in the previous videos, and it's things that don't make sense with someone who has borderline personality disorder. And I don't know how long this video is going to be. I guess it basically is going to be however long um, that I'm willing to talk about these things. If it goes pretty long, I might have to break this up into like a part two or something like that. So yeah, I have a list of things literally on my phone right here, and I'm just gonna go down the list. So we're just gonna get started. So the first thing, um, I'm not saying all people with BPD cheat. However, mine did. And, based off of experiences and things that I've read on the internet, it seems like a lot of them do cheat. Like they get bored with one person and they move on to another one and they just cheat. And it's not that they're like, oh, you know, I like this person better. Like they will literally lie to you. So, like in my case, um, my ex was talking to this coworker, and I was like questioning, like, who is this person? And my ex was like, "Oh, just a coworker. You don't need to worry about them." All this stuff. They always tell you that, right? And then turns out, guess who I was left for? Um, like my ex was like, "I'm better off single." And then a couple of like weeks later, not even like 2 weeks, I think. Actually maybe 2 weeks, something like that, but they started dating. It's like, "I know you only broke up with me because of that." You know what I mean? Like whatever. And they were trying to play it off, and I was like, "Look, I know what you're doing." And even then, like, they're like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And then I had to be like, "I know you're dating so and so." And then I was like, "What happened to you wanting to be single?" And they're like, "Oh, well, things change." It's like, you're such a loser, you know what I mean? Um, I still feel sorry for my ex with BPD. I still have compassion, but it's like, just be honest with me, you know what I mean? So sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But anyway, they get mad at you for finding out that they cheated on you. Like, you realize something's up because all of a sudden things are going great, and then they meet this coworker or this person that they tell you not to worry about, and then all of a sudden they dump you. They're not talking to you. And so, you're like kind of trying to dig deep, right? Because you were in love with this person. So naturally, you're like, where did I go wrong? You're trying to figure some things out. So I figured some things out based off of social media. It wasn't that hard for me, to be honest, but you just got to dig a little. So that's what I did. And it's funny because it's like when I confronted my ex about this, like my ex was upset that I found this out. It's like, wait, so you're not even apologizing for the cheating. And I confronted my ex and I was like, you cheated on me. And then my ex was like, no, I didn't. Like, I broke up with you prior to. But it's like, yeah, but like emotionally, you were cheating on me because you were talking to this person while we had something going. And obviously, something was going on. Y'all were texting a lot and flirting. You know what I mean? Like, you knew what you were doing. Like, so don't play it off as like, oh, well, whatever. Like, come on. Like, you guys all know that, right? But if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me, but I think I'm right. But anyway, they get mad at you for finding out that they were in the wrong, and they don't really like own up to it. Like my ex with BPD didn't really own up to it. Like I don't think I ever, now I'm thinking, like yeah, thinking back, I don't think I ever got a sorry and apology for my ex cheating on me. That's wild. You know what I mean? My ex didn't think we were, or my ex didn't think that they were in the wrong. And I still, like, I feel like now if I were to confront my ex, I feel like same thing. Felt like they weren't in the wrong. Like, again, they're like, oh, our personalities clashed and it was just wrong timing. It's like, don't give me that. You know what I mean? Like, they shift blame. That's another thing. Um, it's never their fault. It's always your fault. Or if it is their fault, they'll give you a reason why they were acting that way, right? Um, Or like they're like, "Well, you did this and you did that." A lot of blame shifting, you know what I mean? And it sucks. They cannot take, I'm not saying all, but at least in my case, at least a lot of the things I read, they have a terrible time taking accountability for things. It's always somebody else's fault. They always like play victim. Maybe in the beginning they don't. In the beginning, they're probably like the sweetest, most compassionate people you could ever meet. But then you go further down the line in your friendship and your relationship, whatever, and it's always like your fault. And they're willing to like tell you it's your fault. You know what I mean? Like they're like, "Well, you did this and you did this." And it makes you feel guilty and it kind of like destroys you, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that's another thing. Um, but yeah, and then the next thing on here, uh, they basically accuse you, well, mine did. Again, anytime I say they, I'm referring to my experience, and I'm sure just a good chunk of BPD people as a whole. So I'm not saying all BPD people are like this. I know there are some that are not. So if you're not and you're BPD, like congrats, you're probably the most mature person ever. Um, with regard to that, but for some they struggle in some of these areas. So again, like they're like, "Well, you're abusing me." Like if they accuse you of abuse if you're reacting to their abuse, if that makes sense. So like, for example, like let's say, I don't know, my ex would be like accusing me of like cheating, right? If I like went to hang out with a friend or if I went to my grandma's house. Can you believe that? Anyway, so like I'd be doing something and my ex would be like, "You're cheating on me," or you're doing this or you doing that, or "I don't trust you." And naturally, like if somebody tears you down like that and just starts accusing you based off of literally nothing, no evidence, whatever, like you're gonna react to that at some point, you know what I mean? Or when it comes to literally anything else and they're like, or like my ex like just calling me names, calling me all these nasty names like the B word, um a-hole, telling me F you, F off, whatever, which is still sometimes going on, by the way. I got to be careful. But anyway, they could do all of that. And like initially, you're patient with them. But there comes a point where they break you down so much where like you could be, again, the most patient like person in the world, like in the world. And there will just be like this breaking point. So because you're at your breaking point, you react to their abuse and you honestly might just yell at them because you're like done being patient. You're done taking all of that on you. And you feel like it's destroying your self worth. And so naturally you're going to react to it. And so when you're like, "Stop accusing me of this," or "I don't appreciate you doing this, stop calling me this, you need to learn how to act," basically like just going at them and reacting to the way they treat you, they accuse you of being abusive. Like my ex was always like, um, "You always blame me for all this stuff," or "Stop yelling at me." Like anytime I raise my voice, like I'm a pretty chill person, my voice is like this. But if I raise my voice or it was in like a different tone or whatever, my ex would be like, "Stop yelling at me." And it's like, bro, you were yelling at me first and you're basing this off of nothing. Like I never, okay, did I cuss at times when I was talking to my ex? Yeah. But I didn't call my ex words. Like if I did cuss it, I would be like, "This whole thing is effing stupid. Like we need to get past this," type of thing. But never ever in my life would I ever call my ex either in text or face to face any nasty words. Ever. I would never do that cuz that is disgusting in my opinion. But here I was with my ex telling me all that stuff. But I never would. And like my ex is like, "You treat me so bad and you yell at me." It's like, bro, like at times I like looking back, I wish I would have like gotten a like um voice recorder or just recorded it like through my phone whenever we were in some sort of argument and then played it back to my ex and been like, this is how you treat me. Like, do you understand why this is wrong? Because it's like they didn't understand, you know what I mean? And even then, like, yes, you might get an apology or something, but like it was always like in the beginning it was genuine. And that's because, right, you're in the honeymoon phase, whatever. But then like the more the relationship goes on, it becomes, excuse my language, but this like half-ass apology, you know what I mean? Like not even half-ass. Like it's almost worthless because you know that that sorry means nothing and they don't own up to what they did. It wasn't, I'm sorry for X, Y, and Z and I need to be better and whatever. It's just, I'm sorry. Like, but it's like, do you know what you're sorry for? You know what I mean? Um, so that was tough. I mean, that's really, really hard because again, I feel like I'm pretty patient, I'm pretty kind. Like again, we all make mistakes. We're all human, right? Like naturally we're not always going to act perfect, right? Because that's just our nature. But like I don't know, I would try to be so kind, and then anytime that I reacted a certain way, I was basically told that I can't do that. So then it just became this whole walking on eggshells thing where you're like your partner wants you to communicate. Like my ex was always like communication is important, so I try to communicate, but then when I did, it was like, "Well, stop yelling at me and I'm scared of you." That was another thing. Like one time, um, I went to like grab something like behind like the back seat, I want to say, like the passenger seat. So I went like that and my ex like did this. And then I was like, "What are you doing?" And my ex is like, "I thought you were going to hit me." It's like, "I would never hit you. Like why what are you talking about?" Um I don't know. Like, I don't even know where that, maybe it's because I was reacting and like again I hit that breaking point. But again, you could be the most patient person in the world. You're still going to hit that breaking point with these people unfortunately because again, they could just tear you down so much and they can do all of this and for some reason they think it's fine if they accuse you and if they call you all these names. But if you were to do the same, oh my goodness, I don't even want to know what would happen, like straight up, you know? And it's crazy because like with the whole cheating thing, like um I confront my ex about it? Like absolutely, because obviously you were doing something behind my back and then you lied about it, you know? But I like forgave my ex. If I cheated, oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. Like let's pretend roles were reversed for a second and I cheated. Oh my gosh, my ex would freaking kill me, you guys. Like I don't even want to know how that would end up. But it's like I don't know. Like I would, okay. Another thing I want to mention. This might be my last thing because um I'm almost at 13 and a half minutes. Projection, right? So, especially with regard to this, like my ex is like, "You're cheating on me." But who was cheating on who? Wasn't me. It was my ex cheating on me, right? But I was always to blame. And you know what's crazy? So, this was I don't know if I've said this in a video, but I'll say it now. So 2 months before, was it 2 months? No, 3 months before my ex ended things with me, I was talking with my ex and we were talking about it like a certain coworker, right? And like former coworker of ours because we used to work together. So talking about this person and my ex was like, "Yeah, so like a month ago I was really catching feelings for this person." My ex said this to me. And I was like, "Really?" And my ex was like, "Yeah, but then," so I texted this person and told him that, and I was like, "I'm so sorry because, yeah, I know I shouldn't feel this way." And, the person was like, "That's okay, like, whatever." But it's like, why would you tell the person that you're dating? Like, that's just weird. Don't you guys think that's bizarre? Like, you're dating someone, but then, like, you're just catching feelings for, like, someone else and you told me about that. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like there was no shame in it. Like, and the reason my ex said sorry to this other person was because this other person doesn't feel the same, you know? Like, I don't know. It's like if my ex could do that, like, what else could they be doing behind my back? Or what else were they doing behind my back while we were in a relationship? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, this video is almost at 15 or what, 16 minutes, sorry. Um, I think I'll probably stop there and I'll make like a part two and however many parts this needs, I don't really know. I was just again going based off of the stuff that's on here, but I didn't get through all of it, so that's totally fine. And I know you guys don't want to watch a ton of videos, which again is also fine. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll be back with another one, so stay tuned. Not sure when that's going to happen, but um just keep an eye out for it. And of course, comment on this video. Like, let me know your thoughts about anything that I mentioned because I'm genuinely curious about what you guys um, have to say about all of this. So, yeah, thanks again. And see you in the next one. Bye.